My guest today has caused quite a bit of a stir in Corrie recently in the role of Jacob Hay. After luring Simon into the shady world of drug dealing, we've seen him menacing Leanne in her own home and has now ended up in hospital after trying to rip off his boss, Harvey. It's Jack James Ryan. Hi, Jack. How are you?
You really well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining me on the podcast today. It's lovely having you here.
Thanks for having me. I feel honoured.
No worries. Oh, no worries at all. So, I mean, you must be pretty pleased with the viewers' reaction to Jacob so far.
Yeah, do you know what? A little bit overwhelmed, if I'm honest. It's
Hmm.
been it's been amazing. The reaction from people online, people in the street, like it's been amazing. And I kind of knew with Coronation Street being such like an institution, like I knew that reaction would be big, but I didn't expect it to be like as quite as big as this. So I'm really, really chuffed. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it has been really overwhelmingly positive, hasn't it? But I mean, has anyone like given you any hassle in the street over the role? Because I know sometimes Corrie villains get, the grannies attacking them with their handbags.
Definitely, yeah. I think with the soaps, because we are like in people's living rooms every night, it's a kind of weird crossover where it's like reality and fiction kind of blurs together, so people kind of genuinely think like we are these characters,
Yeah.
which is great. But yeah, like I've been out sometimes and I've definitely got a few leave Simon alones and stuff like that, which has been funny, to be honest. Everyone's been really playful. It's never like been malicious or anything like that. It's always been really playful and
Yeah.
having really like ended up having like good chats with people out on the street. So it's been good.
Cool, cool. Well, we'll get more into Corrie stuff in a little bit, but first, I wanna find out what makes Jack James Ryan tick. So, tell me, how did you get into acting?
I've been acting for quite a while actually. Both my brother and sister are both actors,
Hmm.
and my brother kind of started us all off really. And yeah, and then I kind of grew up watching my brother and sister on TV and on stage, and I was like, wow, this is so cool! Like, I'd absolutely love to do this. And then yeah, I my first professional job. I think I was like 8 years old, and I did a feature film called Building of the Titanic: Birth of a Legend, which is basically kind of documentary film about the people who worked on the Titanic.
Oh yeah.
And it was amazing. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then yeah, really kind of went from there, did little bits, and then went to drama school eventually, and then yeah, been graduated, and it's been really good since then. So yeah.
Cool. And so, your first TV was that the Moving On thing?
So that was yeah, like that was like my first TV role.
And then the
Yeah,
Titanic was like a part of a feature
film.
film, was it? That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I did have a look at this the Moving On episode on YouTube the other day. You were playing a young bully then as well. I mean, do
Literally,
you remember much about what that was like being in that?
it was amazing, but it's funny you say that because I like to think like in real life I'm quite a chilled guy, like quite a nice guy, but everything I get cast as is like a bully, a drug dealer, a
Yeah.
racist, like anything. I'm like I'm so far from that. But yeah, no, they're the great characters to play. But moving on was incredible, and working with some of the actors that I got to work with on there was unreal. And it was such a great part, for me to play at that young age, and it was really gritty. And yeah, I loved it. I had such a great time on that show. Loved it.
Mm. I mean, I recognised the face when I had a look at it the other day. Lee Boardman, who of course played a really notorious drug dealer in Corrie. What was he like to work with?
Oh, absolutely incredible and such a nice guy. I remember just watching him work, and even from the rehearsals to the read through to the I just remember watching him work and just thinking, oh my God, I'd love to be like you when I grow up. Like, just
Yeah.
thought he was an incredible actor, and he is an incredible actor, and such a lovely, genuine person as well. And he's the same as well. Like, such a lovely guy. Like when you meet him, but then all of his roles, well, not all of them, but a lot of his roles are quite these dark and powerful and strong roles. So yeah, yeah, I loved working with him.
Yeah, I mean, did he teach you a lot about, the acting trade and even acting as that kind of character?
Definitely, like, yeah, like I think with acting as well, and the benefit of me being able to have like had these experiences when I was younger, like they're such an amazing like learning tool.
Yeah,
You just learn from the people that are around you, and I learned so much from him. And yeah, no, yeah, it was great.
yeah. So you did that. I mean, I see a little clip of you on an Emmerdale as well. You were a nice piece of work there as well.
Yeah,
Is this like a
yeah.
speciality for you?
Well, apparently so. Apparently so. Yeah, yeah. Emmerdale was great. We put as a part of the storyline, I think, a couple of years ago now, where it was like the big night out and the flashback, and that was a great thing to be a part of.
Mm,
Yeah, I loved it on there as well. So I've just been really lucky, to be honest, with the little bits and pieces I've done. So
yeah. Have you ever met anyone like Jacob or these kind of characters in real life that you base any of this on?
um, well, I mean, I'm from a very working class background, so you know these, you know. Not, I wouldn't say like firsthand, like I have relationships with these types of people, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely surrounded in these types of environments where these people would be living, growing up, and so yeah, it was. You know, I'm not going to say like, you know, this is totally like my life, but it's
Of
definitely
course.
it's definitely. I can definitely relate to Jacob, and I think as well with Jacob, is that yeah, of course he is definitely doing lots of bad things, and you know he's acting out. But I do think that underneath it all, he is a good kid
Mm,
who's just kind of lost his way, and there is, you know, bigger powers that are kind of dictating to him and making him do the kind of the bad things. So I don't
yeah.
think he's an inherently bad person. I think that he is a good kid underneath it all, but just completely, you know, gone down the wrong route sort of thing.
Yeah, I think we've seen more depth to him as the weeks have gone on because he came in as just a bit of a bad lad, but we've seen him on the phone to Harvey, and it feels like he's kind of got trapped in the same way that he's now being forced to trap Simon.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's another thing that's been really great with the fans as well, is them kind of seeing that development of the character a little bit more. And
Mm,
even with kind of Leanne, even though he's being horrible, he has that kind of other side where he's a bit of a jokester and a bit of a, you know, and he can have a joke. You can see that. So I think the fans are definitely seeing that he's not just one sided. That there is definitely more to him, which is great. And I'm so glad that
yeah.
that's coming across.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, acting jobs aren't really easy to come by at the moment, are they? So you must have been pretty chuffed when you got this job on Corrie.
Honestly, I was absolutely over the moon. I mean, the fact that it was, like you say, in the middle of a pandemic, and as well that it was Corrie. Like I remember being at drama school and sitting in a big circle my whole year, and the teacher said, "Right, I'm going to go around one by one, and I want you all to tell me what's the dream. Like, what would you really love to do when you graduate?"
Hmm.
Everyone was going round, and they were going, "Oh, you know, I'd like to go to Hollywood," and da da da. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Came around to me, and I was like, "I absolutely love to be a bad boy on one of the soaps," and
Yeah.
like it's happened, and I'm just like so chuffed. And that is Coronation Street as well, because like being from Manchester, like I'm just so proud to be on it. And yeah, no, I feel really lucky because I know a lot of people in the industry at the moment are really struggling for work.
Mm.
Um, but slowly, touch wood, you know, everything is starting to come back, and we're seeing more and more, you know, productions going back into filming, and theatre is slowly coming back as well. So it's really looking positive, and
Yeah.
I'm really glad that that's going
Yeah.
on.
This must be, is this one of your first or your first TV role where you've stuck around for more than one episode?
Yes, so this is yeah my first kind of recurring role, which
Yeah.
again was massive for me and for
Yeah.
my career. Um, so it's been so fun to, instead of just kind of coming into you know, shows and just trying to make an impact in that one episode, it's been really nice to have a journey and have so many episodes to kind of develop a character.
Mm.
It's been, yeah, I've loved it. Loved every second.
Cool. What was the audition process like?
So it was very strange and very different to how it would normally be.
Yeah.
Um, so it was, I kind of got sent all the material, and it was really weird because I got it sent through, and I don't even know why, but I turned to my mum and I was like, "Mum, I'm getting this. Like this is mine," and I was so sure. I was like, "This, I'm not letting this go."
Was your
So
mum a Corrie watcher?
oh yeah, big fan, huge fan,
Yeah.
and like it was just a part of us all growing up. Like
Yeah.
we were sat down with my chicken dippers and my beans, like in front of the telly, just watching Corrie. Like it's what we did every night. Like
Yeah.
so, yeah. So she was obviously absolutely chuffed when I got it. But yeah, the audition was, it was strange. So they sent me through all the material, and
Mm.
then for like the first 5 episodes or so. And
Mm.
then I did that, filmed that all. It was like a self tape, filmed that, sent that through. And normally, then after that, you go into meet and all that kind of stuff. But I actually got offered the role after the tape, which was
Wow,
huge. I really didn't expect it. So yeah, I was absolutely over the moon. And then yeah, then it was really quick, and I was like, right. And then a couple of weeks later, I was on the cobbles, and I was like, whoa, how'd I get here?
that's
But
cool.
yeah.
That's cool. Do you remember what it was like stepping out onto the cobbles the first time?
It was so surreal, and it still is surreal. Like when I'm on set and I'm like walking around, I'm just kind of like, am I actually here? And then I still can't, like, when I'm watching Corey, I can't. It feels really like strange to me. I'm like, I can't, like, I'm like, that's
Yeah,
not me. That's definitely not me. But yeah, it was very 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 surreal, but like so special. Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What's it like? How are you finding it filming with all the COVID restrictions and everything?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult, especially with some of the scenes, which some of the scenes are fine. When it's just kind of conversational, but the scenes last 2 weeks ago now, was it last week, where we had to do all the stuff in the boot and we
Mm,
had to get the guy in the boot, and there was a lot of action-packed stuff. It was so difficult to make that feel and look authentic and real.
mm,
But to be honest, when it came out, I thought like Duncan, the director, had done such an amazing job of putting and piecing it all together to make it as best as we could have done it,
yeah.
because it was really, really so it can be really difficult at times. But as I say, with everything going on, it's just a blessing to be working at the moment. So
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it must be more difficult than it normally would be to even like socialize with the other cast members as well. I mean, have you been able to bond with any particular members of the cast?
definitely, like you say, like it's completely different. So even when you walk through the dressing room area and the green room, that's all kind of it's all a one-way system. So there's kind of, you can't really like loiter around or like go in anyone's dressing room or so it has been difficult to get to know people, but everyone has been so friendly and so nice and really kind of like took me under their wing, and it's been amazing. Like obviously me and Alex, who plays Simon, spend loads of time together. There's definitely a bromance going on there. Uh, we no, he's amazing, and he's really looked after me, and yeah, no, we get along really really well. Millie, who plays Kelly,
Yeah.
we actually knew each other
All
previously.
right.
Yeah, we knew each other before I started filming, so we used to go to a youth theatre together.
Yeah.
But this was like a very, very long time ago, so I hadn't seen her in so long. But getting to see her again and work with her, and find out that like our story would be, that we'd have the same storyline, that was amazing. And so
Mm,
we've really kind of been able to like rebond over this, and yeah, she's amazing. So
cool.
it's been great. But as I say, like literally everyone, Jane as well has been absolutely amazing, and
Yeah.
I love her to bits. And yeah, she's boss. So everyone's been so nice.
So talking about the characters then, would you say that Simon kind of looks up to Jacob, or is he more scared of him?
Do you know what? I think this is really interesting because I do think that there is a genuine friendship there
Mm,
between them both. I think they do actually like each other, and I think beyond that, Jacob, is using him for obviously his own personal gain. I do think that he actually does like Simon, and
mm,
I think he really wants to be. He really wishes that all this kind of wasn't going on, so he could just be friends with him and be
yeah.
part of the gang and everything. But I do think that obviously. Simon is he is very scared of Jacob, and I do think now as the storyline develops, it started as a friendship, but I think now it's definitely he's kind of definitely a
Mm.
little bit more standoffish and a lot more scared of him. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do you think that Jacob regrets the life that he's got himself into?
absolutely, I think he absolutely does, and I think that obviously he's in a situation now where he's staying with Leanne and Simon in this flat, so he's obviously got no family of his own that he can stay with because they must have kicked him out, or this situation isn't there. So I think that he's staying at Simon and Leanne's, and he can see that the relationship, and I think he just wishes that he could be a part of it. So yeah, I do think he does. He's definitely regrets what he's done, but he's in so deep now that he can't
Yeah.
he can't turn back. So
You think he's the sort of character that could be redeemed?
definitely, definitely, I think the things that we've talked about you know, he is a good kid underneath it all, and I do think that that yeah, underneath it all, he is just like he's just dying for someone to be like, right, I'll save you, I'll save you, I'll look after you, I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And I think he'd really flourish. But yeah, I think he definitely can be redeemed, 100%.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to apologise to Leanne and Carla first, though, isn't he? Because I mean, those scenes last week where you had the scenes against them, that was what made the biggest splash, I think, on social media. How did you find filming against Ali and Jane?
Yeah, it was great. I watched those scenes back, and even then, I was like, right, okay, I understand why everybody hates Jacob. I get it. I get it now. But yeah, it was just like Ali and Jane were like two of the people I was really excited about working with,
Mm,
and I think that came across in the end product because I was so excited and I was so like I just felt like we were just bouncing off each other, and it just felt good when we were filming it, and I was just so glad that the scenes came out well.
mm,
Yeah, it was great, and I think because they are both so like brilliant, that it kind of elevated my performance as well.
mm.
So I was like, right, I need to bring my A game. I need to be good. So yeah, it was great because I feel like they brought out the best in me as well.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah, that
good.
makes sense. It's some of the stuff in Leanne's flat, like when you were calling her babe, telling Simon that I would, and it must have been hard to keep a straight face during it. It was kind of darkly funny in a way, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like we had a right laugh filming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jane was was just like I wasn't sure if she was like laughing at me or with me most of the time, but yeah, we were definitely having a right laugh we filming those things. And I think those little bits of Jacob, those little one-liners and stuff, and I think that really does show that you know, that there is a different side to him.
Mm.
But yeah, like yeah, we had a right laugh, and there was definitely a few takes where we had to go back and do them again because we were laughing. But yeah, no, it was good fun.
I've seen some viewers saying that it's not in Leanne's character to let Jacob walk all over her like that. But to me, it seems that she's just in a really vulnerable state and he's taken advantage. What do you think?
Absolutely, I can see both sides. You know, from Leanne's past and everything that she's been through. You know, she's such a strong-willed, feisty. You know, we've seen that time and again from her. But she's in a position now where she's lost a child. You know, Simon's got himself so entangled in this thing. She doesn't even know what to think. You
Mm.
know, and I think that in normal circumstances, if you know that hadn't happened, and you know she was, you know, it was just another day. Oh, he would have been out of there.
Yeah,
He would have been out there straight away. But because of what's going on, I think that yeah, you know, she's just struggling herself.
yeah.
So I think she's just all building.
So at the moment it's Thursday as we're recording this, but I do know that on tomorrow's episode we're going to see Jacob getting a bit cocky, ended up in hospital after ripping off Harvey. Do you reckon he's got a bit too cocky for his own boots?
Yeah, I think that he was starting to get really comfortable, and
Mm.
he was starting to micromanage. So kind of calling his own shots, doing his own thing with Simon, which is not good and definitely is not going to go down well with Harvey. So yeah, it's not gonna turn out too good for old Jacob.
Have you enjoyed working with Will Mellor?
It's been really nice. When I found out that he was going to be playing Harvey, I was absolutely thrilled. You know, his body of work speaks for himself, and I've been a big fan. I loved him on Line of Duty, and you know all sorts of different stuff he's been in. So getting to work with him again has been incredible, and such a lovely guy.
When we look at this story as a whole, would you say its main purpose is for entertainment or to educate viewers about, the traps that children like Simon, because he is still technically a child, remember, can get himself into?
I think it's definitely to educate, and I think what's really important to say is that it's not this, you know, even though it's very heightened and you know it's high stakes and you know it's a serious topic. this is something which is a real problem at the moment, and which is, you know, it's a very real topic and a real subject that's
Mm,
going on. So so I think it's really important, and it's really brave and honourable of Corey to be kind of giving it the primetime airtime slot that it's giving it, because
mm,
you know, so many young people now are getting you know, entrapped in these really difficult situations. So I think it's definitely going to it's definitely a good educational tool for people to see how easy. I think that's the important thing, because it started, you know, with the way that the story started. You know, I just lent him 60 quid, and I was a friend,
mm,
and now all of a sudden I'm living in his house, and you know,
mhm.
and he's selling drugs, and I'm beating up people with him, and so it's just grown from something so small, and I think that's really important to know.
Mm. I mean, we've not explicitly heard the term county lines on the show before, but would you say this is something Corey's going for?
I think that's definitely the vibe it's going for.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking into this, and I came across the term cuckooing, which is where you get the drug dealers moving into the houses of vulnerable people. So it feels like that's what's going on with Leanne here.
Yeah, I think that's just again to say how real this is. Like, this is happening all
Mm.
over the UK, and it's a really real current subject. So it's great that it's been given this platform.
Yeah, yeah. Now, of course, we want to keep this chat spoiler free, but would you say there's still a lot more for the viewers to look forward to in this story?
Loads left, loads of twists and turns. It's only going to get more interesting, and yeah, it's there's lots of fun stuff coming up.
Cool. And on that journey, is there anyone else who you'd like to share some scenes with, or maybe someone else for Jacob to intimidate?
There's so many people I'd love to work with. Um, I feel like I'd really like to see the relationship between Jacob and Dev, because obviously Dev owns the Chippy, and I'd really like to see how that relationship works. Like, obviously he's employed me; we must have some sort of relationship. So I'd really like to see how that plays out. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah, good thinking. I like that idea. Maybe I'd like to see that too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of the story. I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving the character of Jacob, and it's been great hearing about him from your point of view today. So thank you very, very much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Cheers.
Cool. Cheers. Bye bye then.